OLTP versus OLAP. OLTP means storing the fresh data. Reading and writing will be there, more writing will be there, and more end users are going to be connected. Let me give you one example. I wanted to go to bank and I wanted to do some cash deposit or some cash transfer. Or I may be using phone pay, or I may be using Google Pay, or I may be buying movie tickets using bookmyshow.com, or I may be going to the bank and paying the loan amount. So wherever you're interacting and doing some transactions, making the payments or inquiring about something, everywhere the data is being collected. So wherever the data is being collected, those applications are called as OLTP applications. For example, you go to the bank and pay some loan amount. This is a fresh transaction. Or you go to the bank and withdraw some cash. That is also one more fresh transaction. Or you go to bookmyshow.com and buy a movie ticket. That is also a fresh transaction. Or you go to Airtel app and recharge your phone. That is also a fresh transaction. Whenever you do any transaction in the business, and the business is going to be capturing some data, the data is being captured in a computer or in an application. Those applications are called as OLTP applications. OLTP means online transaction processing. So it tells that wherever you store the fresh data, read and write data, and 80% of the time OLTP applications are busy writing the data. Your banking application, Amazon application, BookMyShow, PhonePe, Google Pay, Yatra.com, irctc.co.in, whatever you're using worldwide, all the applications the end users are using called as OLTP applications. If somebody tells you OLTP applications means where end users are using and end users are generating lot of data, OLTP means fresh data, read and write data, and end users data. But what happens after 1 month or after 1 year? These computers are completely full with the data. For example, you have a bucket, and in the bucket the capacity of 30-40 liters. After 5 minutes, what will happen? The bucket will be full. Like that, if you're buying a lot of items in the Amazon.com, the computer where all your transactions are stored, that computer will be full after some time. Clear? After 1 month or after 6 months or after 1 year. So what Amazon is going to be doing, it is going to be taking all the data from that OLTP computers, OLTP applications, and the data is going to be dumped onto one more computer. The computer or the server is called as a OLAP server. So OLAP means it is online analytical processing. The daily data you're going to be getting into a OLTP applications or OLTP computers. OLTP computers more busy, and the size wise which is going to be having small size hardware capacity, the data is going to be taken from the OLTP server and dumping into the data warehousing and OLAP machines. OLAP machines will have read only data, more historical data, large amount of data you're going to be having. That is what is called OLAP. OLAP means historical data, batch data. I will give you simple example. I wanted to get a water to my house. So I don't have any water. What I do, morning 6 o'clock, I'll go to street and water tanker comes. I'm going to be taking the bucket and collecting the water. The fresh water is going to be collected in the buckets, and 30 liter 40 liter bucket will be there. If the bucket is full, I'm going to be getting the water and dumping into the bigger drum. The drum is called as a data warehouse or OLAP machine. It can have today's water, yesterday's water also. So the capacity of the tank will be 1000 liter, but a capacity of bucket is only 40 liters. So OLTP similar to your buckets. OLTP will have fresh data or fresh water, limited size water, 30-40 liter data you can have it. And once the buckets are full, you have to take the water dumping into the drum. The drum will be called as OLAP or a data warehouse. But manually we are going to be putting the data into the drums or the tank. Instead of that, you can buy a motor pump and give the connection to the bucket and give the connection to the tank. Switch on the motor. You are going to be getting the water from the buckets and dumping into the drum. Buckets are here OLTP applications. Drum is called OLAP application. OLTP means fresh data, small size data, end users data. OLAP or data warehousing means large amount of data, historical data, and terabytes of data you're going to be maintaining. Your tank will be having not only today's data, but last 1 month data, 2 months water also you're going to be having. So data warehousing OLAP will have more and more historical data. The company data will be available in your data warehousing. Thank you guys.